It's Time Warner Cable's local edition. My name is Brad Pomerance. We are joined today by Chelsea Hogan. She is an education specialist with ESMoA, which is an El Segundo and art lab. You've been on our show before. I'm so glad to have you back.
Great to be
Tell
back.
us a bit about ESMoA before we get into the specifics.
Yes, absolutely. So ESMoA opened in January 2013. We are an art laboratory home to changing experiences and innovative programs. So we do, all different kinds of art. Our mission is to spread the spark of creativity.
I like that. And as long as you said spark, let's just go there. Because one of your main exhibits right now is an exhibition called Spark.
Exactly.
Tell us about Spark.
Spark is all about Cornelia Funke, who's a German children's book author. She writes for children and young adults.
She's still with us?
She's still with
Got
us.
it. Good.
Very rare in the art world that we're
Yes,
showing
yes,
living people.
Exactly.
And she's German, and her last name Funke means spark.
Oh, that's awesome.
And it's perfect because our mission is to spread the spark of creativity, and the show itself is all about how you go from the spark of an idea through to a product. So she collaborated with Murata Studios, which is here in Los Angeles, to create a really tremendous app, and we're looking at that creativity and their collaboration in the show.
So when I go to the museum with my two daughters, who are 13 and 11, so it seems perfect, what will I see when I go to Spark?
Yeah, well, we are open 10 to 5 Friday through Sunday, so if you go on just a normal day where there isn't a program, you can, of course, see the experience that's up right now. And we've created Cornelia's writing house, so she has a really special place where she writes in the middle of her garden. It's literally a little house. She's loaned to us a lot of her own personal things, so we've kind of recreated that. Then we kind of look into her mind a little bit. So she is a fantasy writer, and she incorporates things from Grimm's fairy tales. So we have taken some things that Murata made for the app that come from Cornelia's brain, and in some ways, of course, influenced and changed by Murata. And they are kind of in the middle of the room. So you kind of go from like where she works to kind of her brain. And then we've recreated some of the spaces in her books too. So you can kind of go inside some spaces, like a bar called the Ogre Bar, named after an ogre whose arm was chopped off. And then you can see Murata's workstation, so you get a sense of where they work.
So the Cornelia exhibit will be running through end of May, essentially.
Yes, May 24th.
Let's talk about the exhibit that's going to take place after that.
Absolutely.
The exhibition is called Studio.
Studio, yes, thank you. Great memory.
Yes.
Studio is all about Norbert Thaddeus, so we're focusing on one artist. He is no longer with us, unfortunately.
Is he German as well?
He's also German, was German.
He
studied with Joseph Beuys, who is a really famous German guy, a couple of other really famous Germans in the 40s. German Expressionism. And the show is called Studio. It's a collaboration with the LA County Museum of Art, so that's really wonderful. It's going to be curated by an assistant curator there and director Michael Govan. So it's fantastic in that way. And we're going to have monumental paintings basically dealing with the artist's studio. So it'll give you a glimpse into Thaddeus' studio, but I think some sort of imaginary things too. So it'll be kind of like a twist on maybe what was really there.
So how do you curate your ideas that ultimately turn into exhibitions?
Yes. So our curatorial moves really start with, we have an art director, a curator, and he just kind of gets a spark of an idea himself. And then he tries to reach out to another curator, maybe like Nana Bauman, who's doing the June experience. And he's all about really creating an experience. So we don't have labels on the walls. We really focus on the art themselves. So we think like, how can we make this an immersive thing that people can really kind of
Tell me exactly where ESMoA is so our viewers know.
Sure, absolutely. It's at 208 Main Street. It's between a Mexican restaurant called El Churrasco.
I'm hungry, so it's good.
And the former post office. So it really was just in an alleyway built
Well, that's great. Chelsea, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
She is an education specialist with ESMoA, which is an art lab in El Segundo, California. My name is Brad Pomerance. We thank you so much for staying with us on Time Warner Cable's local edition.